I saw this video popped up from some ordinary gamer, right? And I wanted to show you this. This YouTuber just lost $200 million over GameStop. I don't know if it's GameStop stocks or something, or if it's GameStop something GameStop related or something. Let me see. Yeah, GameStop stocks. They lost over $200 million. I'm gonna be very interested to see what was the whole ordeal on this. So,
what would your mental state be if you lost $200 million in one day? In one day, ladies and
holy shit, losing $200 million in one day? That is crazy.
gentlemen, that's a question I want to start off this video by, and I wish you guys could answer the actual question in the comment section below. Because let me tell you something right
Say
now.
hi
I
to
would
my
try,
old
I
friend,
would
the
go
Rope.
insane, and I would probably start hucking my feces across the walls, okay? I go full crazy. So ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what happened yesterday. Something that I love about the internet is coming across the wildest, goofiest nonsense every day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most unhinged lives.
Hey man, if you're gonna lose $200 million, you should have just donated to me, you know?
Live stream viewed by 600,000 plus yours truly
saying, you know?
yesterday, June the 7th, okay? So I was kind of watching
Corgi.
this, you know,
Thank you for the
early
follow,
throughout
hon.
my day. Who is this guy? This is Roaring Kitty, not to be confused with Flying Kitty. Now, Roaring Kitty is an individual that places some bets, a real proper degen. And if we actually look at Roaring Kitty's actual description,
922.
Roaring Kitty is a channel that revolves around educational streams where I share my daily routine of tracking stocks and performing investment research, okay? Now, he doesn't provide investment advice or stock recommendations. This is an extremely aggressive style of investing. And to show you how extremely aggressive this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is him sitting on a Secret Labs kind of chewed up chair, I want to say, or actually no, that might just be the design. He's sitting there just vibing, drinking a beer, having a good time, talking about, you know, hey guys, this isn't for everybody, okay? You got to be a real diamond.
Oh my god, look at this dude. Oh my, holy shit. $235 million. Wow, this man lost. Wait, yeah, they're all the GameStop. That is GameStop. The GameStop stocks. Whoa, that is so crazy that this man. Oh my, wow.
In hands, Tom Brady motherfucker to be doing this. Now, of course, you might be pausing the video right here, and let me just pause this for you. Look real closely at this person's E-Trade account, okay? Now, if you look at the positions our buddy Roaring Kitty is sitting at, you're looking at a daily gain unrealized of negative 42%. Now, it might be hard to read.
What did you try to say? Nightbot came after you. I wonder if he's the same guy as this one. His gain / lost history post. Is that what this is? Let me see. I get nervous every time I see one of these, the one true king. His chronological gain and loss history. Yeah, that's the post right there. God damn, Jesus Christ. Holy cow, this is for the GameStop. This is the GameStop stuff. Holy cow.
But that is 237,300,000 US dollars, okay? Now, even losing all of that money, he still actually is sitting with a value of, again, $160 million on this position, $160 million on this one position, $350 million, 609,005 bucks in value. So you're still looking at a total gain of 84%. This man has $146 million, $663,000.
God damn, dude. Holy shit.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Damn, he's
You know
losing
what I
his
just
shit.
realized? Like, what literally entered my head? There are countries that have gross domestic products, GD fucking Ps, smaller than his losses for the day. This is a YouTuber. This guy lost the GDP of a small country, more than the GDP of some small countries. And he's just sitting there vibing. You know, like I said at the start of this, what would you do mentally if you lost that kind of money?
Dude, I'd be so upset if I lost $200 million personally. Like, fuck, man, that's crazy. Especially for someone who's just been poor, who's been like dirt poor for the rest of their lives. Yeah, so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would go mentally insane, but Roaring Kitty, he is without a doubt one of the most strongest willed men, and what he is doing requires the strongest of wills. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily, financial intelligence, or if this is straight up insane amounts of gambling. I'm sure he'll say it's a bit of fucking both. But again, to give you an idea, Roaring Kitty was one of the initial minds 3 years ago, back in 2021, in regards to GameStop, which is exactly where his position was put into. See, I don't want to say GameStop right off the bat because I believe that your mind should bring this stuff together. Now, GameStop, if you don't remember in 2021, it was a meme stock, a part of many meme stocks, AMC, AMC as well, where basically a whole bunch of internet individuals, retail traders is what people would consider them as, got into the markets through third-party applications on their phones like Robinhood and started purchasing stocks. And this is what caused many short squeezes to occur, causing massive amounts of money to be made and a serious threat to institutional traders at large, okay? So to give you a quick reminder of just how GameStop had actually started to come into,
I remember this.
Just the beginning of like this person's account. So looking at our buddy, Roaring Kitty, his to a Reddit account, Deep Fucking Value, all right, clearly it is valuable indeed. He posted 3 years ago, and for 3 years he didn't really say anything until 6 days ago he came onto r/Superstonk, which is a place where you discuss the,
There you go, not cool. I think it is the same person. I think it is.
possibilities of GameStop stock, right? Insane shit. And if you look into it, he was literally showing gains, $210 million of value in just those GameStop positions. So immediately this guy came back to life 3 years after the fact and started sharing some of these actual gains. So it started gaining more, $289 million. At one point, literally June 6th, he had a total value of $586 million. If this price had went up and held at like what, $60, the man would have been a billionaire. Insane. I believe this might be one of the richest YouTubers out there, okay? After this would be like what, Mr. Beast or around Mr. Beast?
God damn, dude. Imagine winning that much money. Holy
This
cow.
guy is sitting with insane gains and losses. This dude's financial wallet is a goddamn roller coaster. I am 30 years of age, and I'm sure I would have heart palpitations if my account moved the needle like that. So when he was streaming yesterday, that same stream that I showed you was literally on CNBC and plenty of financial...
What the fuck? What? Roaring Kitty reiterates beliefs in GameStop, Ryan Cohen's potential to turn around business.
TV shows. Like, the finance world kind of stopped to put on a YouTube stream just to witness this guy's insane degeneracy. And throughout the course of his streaming day, he was just losing the money, okay? Like, the actual stock was just going down throughout the day. And what does he do? He just laughs about it. He's Roaring Kitty. He can handle this, dude. His brain is fine. After market hours, he's good with that shit. He'll just look at the amount go down per second. It's insane. Now, Roaring Kitty, also known as Keith Gill, actually did
What the
testify
fuck?
in amongst back in 2021, I believe, in front of the SEC and Congress about this whole situation. To give you an idea of what GameStop stock was and what this mania had occurred, we have to understand what a short is. Now, I'm not a financial expert or a financial planner, so I'm going to explain this in the best way possible. So basically what happens is in Wall Street, okay, like the hub of all these hedge fund groups, there are a group of people that spend every day finding struggling companies in the stock market, okay? One of those companies, in this example, is GameStop. So what happens is they borrow shares of that company from a lender. They then sell those shares with a promise that at some point in the future, they will buy those shares back. So what happens is they wait for that company's price to start falling in the market, and then they buy back those shares later, but at a cheaper price, pocketing the difference as profit. So ideally, what happens with these companies is they want to find the groups that effectively will die. Companies that will die, meaning they don't even have to buy back shares, as those shares are effectively just worthless. The company is dead. So what happened in this situation was you had Wall Street hedge fund guys who were basically shorting GameStop. And what happened was our buddy Roaring Kitty and several other people on the internet banded together in a group known as r/Wall Street Bets, okay? So to give the long story short, Wall Street and many of their hedge fund guys had basically identified what is GameStop. They found that it was going to die at some point soon, and basically while they were picking at its carcass, were just putting massive short positions against it. Now, at this moment in time, a group of individuals known as r/Wall Street Bets had come out and basically identified that GameStop was an over-shorted stock. And so what had effectively happened in this situation was that people had started to buy the stock. Retail traders came out and started purchasing the stock. And then what had happened was a short squeeze had occurred, which meant that buying lots of those stocks actually ended up raising its price, meaning that the hedge fund guys who were expecting the price to go down were like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. We now have to buy this stuff at an inflated price, and it completely threw their math out. They were just not expecting the Reddit factor to come in and take place. So what had happened was some of the hedge fund guys, for instance, Melvin Capital, actually ended up being a casualty. They were so brutalized in the actual short position that they ended up having was that they needed somewhere like $2 to $3 billion of a cash infusion just to actually survive. And they actually did end up getting an infusion from like a couple other actual giants in the industry as well too. But so what had happened was in January 2021, it kept on getting worse. And it got to the point where like, I guess the wool was...
I've heard that a lot of people also had like life-changing money too, when people who invested in the GameStop stocks or so. Some people earned a good fucking chunk of change, to be honest, off of that. So yeah, man, kudos to them.
Was raced from people's eyes. The institutional guys were...
Granted, for me, I don't know anything about stocks, so this is like out of my element, to be honest. I know zero to nothing about stocks, so
getting screwed by the average Andy who banded together as retail traders to basically screw these companies over and make a lot of money. So it became a giant war, right? Institutions versus the average Andy. So the moral of the story is, in the stock market, you can totally make a lot of money in it, as long as you're part of the institution. When you're the average person trying to make a buck on money that you've been taxed for, well, that's when governments have to get involved, institutions have to get involved, and calls have to be made that basically make sure that they're safe and you're not. So it really shows you that this whole racket, and it is really
interesting. So that's basically what's happening behind the scenes. Wow, that's kind of a bit of a bullshit ass move, to be honest, just to protect the billionaires, basically. Yeah, I know. Well, millionaires, I should say, more like millionaires. Yeah, I know nothing about them either. I did see the initial post, but never understood them saddies.
A racket in the grand scheme of things. Is effectively run by the people behind the curtain than you and I ever can be. If you make money in this market, consider that just luck. If they make money in the market, it's just because the game was rigged to be played that way. Now, if you want to read an actual government opinion on what happened back in 2021, the SEC did actually end up investigating it, and I would say this is actually worth a read, especially Section 3 when they actually talk exactly about what they investigated into in regards to GameStop. But thankfully, Doom Douche on the Super Stonk subreddit God damn. I actually ended up talking a little bit about this too, and they basically had started to discuss more in theory this side of the story, right? The one that the media wasn't really trying to portray in a very nice light. So what the hell is super stonk, and why are there a million of us here over 3 years after the sneeze? Which is what we call the 2021 run-up, with a closing price of $82 and split adjusted numbers that the media likes to claim was a short squeeze. So Superstonk is a subreddit dedicated entirely to GME investors. We have evolved over time to provide an open platform for individuals to discuss market reform, as well as facilitate retail investors' right to participate by weighing in and making sure all of our voices are heard on by financial regulators. And I 100% agree with this. If the market is there to be played like this, then everyone should be given an equal floor, not just hedge fund people should be given a blatant advantage over the average retail individual, right?
No, that is completely understandable. Everyone being on equal ground, basically. But I assume that's not how it's been for such a long time.
Now, personally, looking at the stock market and the way that it's been manipulated, it feels like it's definitely gambling. But if an entire group of people behind the scenes can make calls that prevent another group of people from operating, then it's not exactly a fair game. It's entirely a rigged sport, basically, for the people at the top.
Yes.
So where they do
Yes,
describe on it is
100%.
basically when they were talking about the movie Dumb Money that was made about it. What this film won't show you, however, is the backroom collusions that took place in order to attempt to stop retail from winning for once. It's so easy to dismiss us retail investors as some foreign group of people. That's you and me that they are talking about fleecing. Trading with money we worked for and were taxed on. We aren't playing with other people's wealth and skimming a profit off of the top, which is true, all right? They're not hedge funds with, tons of money that they're playing with, some of it not even their own. So the sub has been digging into these issues while also memeing and making questionable life decision band bets. What we've come to realize in this time is the game has always been rigged. There's an incestuous relationship between market makers, hedge funds, and prime brokers. And that's where I'm going to kind of end the story off. This is a real wild situation that has sort of sparked up again because Roaring Kitty sort of, brought his social media presence back up. And with hundreds of thousands of people watching, it clearly shows you that, look, this is an industry, this is an entire institution where tons of money is made. And I think the real story is not like, hey, this YouTuber lost like $200 million. It's that this whole situation has exposed the sort of shady backroom dealings that have existed in the stock market, in this financial sector, that unfortunately, I believe still remain. So yeah, I wouldn't say that you should jump into this market. Don't take financial advice from me. And, again, ask a finance expert about anything related to any of this. I'm sure I might have gotten a few things wrong just because I'm doing the best that I can understanding this myself as well. It's truly a fascinating subject. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, insane story. So if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it.
That is interesting. Granted, because I don't really know much about stocks itself, so this is kind of like something that's a little bit out of my element, right? Because it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of a bit of a confusing field. But I know it is a type of way to get a good sum of money, But the risks that you have to take yourself for it is oof. But it does pay off if you do land the bullseye, of course, with it. But I don't know. For me specifically, I don't think with my luck anyways, I don't think I have very good luck personally when it comes to, these financial kind of situations, right? So yeah, I don't think personally, but that's, dude, I don't know what I would do if I lost $200 million, to be honest, in my personal opinion. Hey, Angelica. I honestly don't know what I would do. I think I'd probably lose my mind, personally. What would happen to you guys if you guys lost $200 million, chat? What would you do? How would you guys feel if you lost that much? I'd be very curious. But yeah. Anyways, you can leave you guys can leave the comment sections down below too as well, and you can let me know how you guys would feel if you lose $200 million. Well, I should say over $200 million. I don't know, man. I think I'd probably would lose my mind personally. I don't think I would even bother even walking around, to be honest, if that was the actual thing. But yeah, anyways, I would fly. Yikes. It's a crazy definitely is a crazy thing, but anyways. Peace.